All of her grandchildren stand up. Grandchildren. Okay, I'm sitting. Now we want her great-grandchildren to stand up. These are all the great-grandchildren. Now we want the great-great to be great-greats. We have 4 great-great-grandchildren. So we have 5 generations based on this lady's generation. Now we like the cousins. Cousins and nieces. Anybody that's related to who?
Well, we're all related.
Oh, me. Come on. Okay, 2 minutes is up. Everybody just stand. Everybody stand. Her 96 years of living, and she said she's going to live to be 100. Knowing her, she probably will.
If anyone has any remarks that they would like to make, any brief anecdote, anyone? Oh, here we go. Come on, cousin. Yeah, cousin. Come on. This is about to be my partner in crime. Come on. Come on. This is about to be my partner in crime. I like this dude. What's up? Come on. Hey. All right.
This is my father, Harold Stanley. Back there is Harold Nazir. Main reason why I'm here today is because I wanted to make sure that you and my father, who have never met Nasir, had opportunity to meet. And I think y'all are wonderful. Not good. Granny. Granny. And I love you dearly.
I really do too.
All right.
All right. That's what I'm saying. This one, I like that dude. All right. Now the ice has been broken. Anyone else? One more. Is there one? Is there one?
Hamilton. What? I want to stand and hold my people that I haven't seen in over 30 years.
You see me all the time.
And she doesn't hold her tongue for nobody and don't care. So, you know, to each his own. I do too. I'm like that also. I love my grandmother. She's a very special lady. And that's about all I have to say. I love y'all. I'm not long-winded. So, what'd you say? Okay, I know, right?
I'm Tim Oliver. I'm Granny's favorite grandson. I just want to let everyone know. Granny, am I not your favorite? Exactly. So they can't even trick her. But no, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be around Granny for these many years. I remember the times when we I remember the times when we were sitting in Granny's house, running from the front of the house to the back of the house, and the rolls that Granny would make, the coon that Granny would make. Yeah, don't look in the pot because the head was a part of it. But we just had a great time growing up, and Granny was just so instrumental in all our lives. You know, I remember walking to the hospital, and she would give us quarters. Friends would always say, your grandkids are here at the front door or at the door. She would come out and she would give us quarters. Spend it. That's why we don't have any teeth right now. But I just want to say, Granny, thank you, and I'm honored to be your favorite grandson. Don't let anybody change that because I am your favorite.
This is Quinn Howard. My memory of Granny was of the coon. You forgot the what's it called? Cha-cha? The cha-cha and the I remember her sending me over to go see Mr. Sun next door and, you know, helping him with the odd jobs and whatnot. And I remember the sound of the wind chimes at her house. Y'all remember the wind chimes? Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. Right. In the backyard and all that good stuff. Helping her with the roles and her saying, hey, Chris, right, yeah. Now it's like we just gotta wear name tags, but those are the things that really like stood out. Yeah, we love you to life. And just for the record, I am her actual favorite grandkid.
My father and Ruby are sister and brother. My father passed in 1977, but before that, short story, he would call Ruby and asked her, what you got for dinner if my mother wasn't there or he didn't like what she had fixed. She would tell him, he would hang up with her, then he would call Becky, the other sister, back and asked her, well, is it ready? Can you get it ready? And sometimes he would eat meals at both places. So whoever was prepared the quickest or had something that he'd like, that's whose house he would go to. Or they would start to argue about something. He'd hang up on that one and then call the other one and tell them what the other one had said. Then they would get in a back and forth and back and forth. That was a loving thing that they did with each other. My father was sarcastic the same way she is, but we understood that as to be loving thing that they did in their family. The last thing is, what is it, 2 years ago? My other aunt on my other side of my family was at the same nursing home where Ruby is now. Let me go back to my mother was in assisted living on 52nd Street where Ruby was. And then after my mom passed and went to wherever, then my other aunt, my mother's sister, was at the nursing home where Ruby was. So I was out there about once every other week and I'd see both of them at the same time. And it was just so, I don't know, it felt really good to be able to see both of them, to give them a hug and a kiss. And then Carolyn had a little birthday party, just cake and ice cream, you remember? In her room one day, and I brought Janet over, and I said, I think I asked Ruby, well, how old are you? I think she said like 82. And Carolyn goes, I go, what? How old is she? And at that time, I think maybe she was 93 or something like that. Yeah, well, she was like, all the women on both sides of my family changed their ages so they would be older to meet whatever their husband's age was, or younger so they could do whatever they wanted to do. But it's just funny. I, however, don't do that, and I don't think any of them do either. But we love you.
Be quiet, Carolyn. My name is Brother Cowherd, and we always call her Sister Hamilton, and I've known her for 55 years. So we go way back. I know the whole family, and I just want to tell a story because she loves to come all the way out 30 miles of the country to pick greens. And she would always bring somebody with her. So one day she brought Sister Braggs, who comes in from Mississippi, and they up in the and they up there in the garden picking these greens. She looks over and she's Sister Braggs pulling them up by the roots. Oh, she came unglued. She said, you ought to know better than being from Mississippi, but she was a city girl. She didn't know it. But I love her to death. We have dinners. I just know the whole family, and I love her very, very much.
This is my mother, and I love her dearly. I really do. But I want to say something about somebody else in the crowd, and that's my brother-in-law, Dwight. And I love this brother, and I'm not gay. I don't think I am, but I don't know. But I love that brother. He's been with my sister for 25 years, and he's been quite a soldier to have stayed with her so long. Huh? Yes, sir. But on my job, they used to tell me that I was lying about these things that Mama said. I had a list of things I would tell everybody that Mama said, and they all thought I was lying, but I wasn't. Mama actually said these things. Let me share those things with you all. Excuse me. Mama said, make the words that you speak salt and sweet, because tomorrow you may have to eat them. Mama said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Mama said, if you cannot see that which is obvious, you can never find that which is hidden. Mama said, trust only those who stand to lose as much as you. If things go wrong, don't make an enemy that you don't have to make, and do right because it's the right thing to do. No, it's not new. Rightful behavior has its own reward. I want to give you something to think about. I'm going to walk away from this microphone. Now, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions tonight. Who am I? I don't mean Harold Hamilton, but who am I? And the second question is the most profound. Am I really who I am? Now, Mama said, the last person you want to lie to, what? Mama said, what? Mama said, the last person you want to lie to is yourself. She said, you start lying to, what? She said, you start lying to yourself, you got some real problems. The greater things than these, ye can also do. And I think he was talking about the potential that we have. And most of us never wrestle and work with this thing, this potential inside of us. I want to do one more quick thing. This is my very favorite poem. What? Okay. The table's not set, Carlin. This is my very favorite poem. I use it in my prayers every day. It's from the Book of Ptah-hotep, considered to be the oldest textbook in the world, older than Bible, older than Torah, of your knowledge. Take counsel with the arrogant as well as with the wise, for the limits of knowledge in any field have never been set, and no one's ever reached them. Wisdom is rarer than emeralds, and yet it is found among the women who gather at the grindstone. If you are a leader and command many, strive for excellence in all that you do, so that no fault can be found in your character. For Ma'at, M-A-A-T, the way of truth, justice, and righteousness is great. Its value is lasting, and it has remained unequaled and unchanged since the time of its creator. It lies as a plain path before even the ignorant, and those who violate its laws are punished. Although wickedness may gain wealth, wrongdoing has never brought its wares to a safe, what? To a safe port. In the end, it is Ma'at, the way of truth, justice, and righteousness that endures and enables the upright to say, it is the legacy of my mother and father.
So let's set the record straight. The year was 1967 around. And that's when everybody can argue about who's the favorite, but I'm the original. I'm the OG, right. But everybody here, I think, can tell a story. Any story that you tell is probably going to be related to food when it comes to Granny. Sweet potato pies, a coon, chickens in the backyard. You go over there before school, you tell her you're hungry. She'll go out to the back, find the chicken, wring the neck, you come home, the chicken's ready. Go out, get fresh eggs in the morning, send you out to get the eggs in the morning. Well, y'all was too young, y'all remember this, huh?
She didn't have no laying chicken.
She did, them chickens did lay eggs. Yes.
We didn't get none.
I went out there plenty of times to get eggs. They wasn't here. Y'all excuse me. Didn't we have eggs, Granny, with them chickens? Yeah, we sure did. Garden in the back. Homemade wine she used to make out of the grapes from Mr. Sons. Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell that? The little liquor thing I won't tell that. We'll keep that in the family. We'll keep that in the family. But I think everybody can share a story that's related to food, and all the times that you come over to the house and there'd be 100 people in the house, in that little house, in every conceivable room, in every seat, every corner, side of the bed, out on the porch. If it was cold, if it wasn't cold outside, people just everywhere. And she'd have one roast, one chicken, and she'd feed 5,000. So that's great. You want to get finished? Yeah.
Let me just say one more thing. We grew up extremely poor. I mean, no, y'all don't know what poverty is. We grew up extremely poor. But on Sunday, when the choir would come over, which was almost every Sunday to eat, or whenever it was, there was always enough for everybody. And I had somebody tell me years ago that one woman can take care of 10 children, but 10 children cannot take care of one woman. And I found that to be true. And Carlin, not Francis, they used to have bacon, you know, what do you call it? Not salt pork, Joe bacon. They would take the grease off the Joe bacon and put on, oh, it's meat. And put it on their legs to cover that ass up. And all the way to school, the dogs would follow them. You know that's true. Anyway, I set the house on fire one time. That's true. Yeah. But, I did. It was Christmas time. And I never, Remember when the house caught on fire? I set it on fire. I was playing with matches in the closet. It was corrugated boxes. And I would light it, blow it out. Light it, blow it out. Excuse me, I had a cold for 3 months. Last time, went over to the center. And about an hour, this like, Harold, your house is on fire. Windows are broken out. Mom's in the kitchen crying. I mean, it's a bad time. But I never told Mama I did this. Everybody talking to you? And as it would happen, the insurance company determined that there was faulty wiring in the attic. And that's how it came out that it was the wiring, not me. But I knew who he was, but I never told Mama till years later. But I'm telling you, I cannot tell you how much I love Mama. I mean, I watched Mama walk to work one day from our house over to Riley Hospital. In the wintertime, it wasn't cold, a little bit of snow on the ground. You know, it's been an honor to be Mama's son. But Mama will call me up 7 o'clock at night, go to Preston Safeway, I want some chicken wings. You know, just spoiled. Anyway, Mama, I love you, I really do.
Okay. Is it time to eat yet? They're putting the food out, so we got one more. Are you coming to get her? You got something to say, baby? What you got to say?
Yes.
Yeah, she said what Uncle Harold said. Yeah. All right. I'm not quoting from, whatever. I'm just quoting from the experience. Let's see, it was like 2008, 2009, and I decided that I wanted to come out here and spend some time with Granny. So I came out here, stayed in her house. How many of y'all been to 716 Edgemont? What I recall, I think it must have been David, one of y'all with the big head, said something about how she always had food. So when I got there, y'all remember how she used to have tomatoes in the window that would ripen in the sun, and she had some chicken, and she said, there's a plate there for you, so sit down and eat. And I remember the next morning, her phone started ringing at 5 in the morning. And, oh, this is that other person calling. It happened for like an hour and a half. And I realized that she had built a community of people that in her house, and you put your feet under her table, you are a part of that community. And they would tell me people's names, and I'm like, I don't know who that is, but they knew about us because she talked about us to them, and that was her way of bringing them into her community. So it's not only the people in this room, it's the people in the neighborhood, in the church where she used to work. She built that community herself. I think that's important for all of us to remember that even if we're not blood related, we can build that community and we can foster that community with love. And I think that's what was always in Granny's house. was that community of love. Thank you. Thank you. Uh-oh.
I'm Akila. I'm from the Oliver side, you know. We've heard about Granny the Wise and Granny the Nurturer, but I know Nana the Defender. And so one moment that I just wanted to share was when I got married 3 years ago. And so, almost 3 years ago. And I brought my husband to meet Nana. And he said, "You gonna marry her?" I said, "Well, I mean, we made it this far. I feel like it's a good idea." She said, "Well, let me tell you, if you hurt her, you're gonna end up in that river." And I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "No, you don't mean that." She said, "Yes, I do. You hurt her, you're gonna end up in that river." So we've got Granny the Wise, Granny. We've got Granny the Nurturer. But we also, our group, got Nana the Defender. Even in that chair, "You heard her." She said that. You heard her. Anybody else?
Anybody else?
I tried.
I have one more thing to say. No, I adopted a child that nobody wanted, and I love this child to death. I mean, I love this girl unconditionally. Let me tell you a story. I love stories. I picked her, huh? I picked her up from preschool years ago, and some child called her father daddy. She said, "I don't have a daddy." I said, "I'm your dad." She said, "You're my grandfather." I said, "Honey, this is what daddy does. Work, discipline, love, direct, guide." And from that day to this, she calls me daddy. But I love this child too much. And I tell her, I said, "Girl, I may love you too much." She said, "No, Daddy, just enough." But she has I'm big on the spirit. And she has a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful spirit. Let me tell you a story. No. Okay. All right. Okay.
When I finish. You can talk when I finish.
I can't finish.
Sit down. Anyway, I'm her second daughter, and Mama has a way of making you feel stupid when you don't feel stupid. She can say things in a way you don't realize she's told you off till you get home and you think, did she say that? But anyway, she would feed anybody that would come to the house. She that can cut a chicken wing in 4 pieces. Now, you know that ain't but 3. One thing she always says, I'm like her, one thing Mom always said, "You can sleep in the bed with him, I can sit on the couch." Now, it took me a while to get it, but I said, "Mama, did you say that?" And I meant it too. I said, "Okay, well, whatever." But, I agree. This is something that she won't forget. She probably won't remember. She won't forget. And this is something that we will all remember because it's better to be seen than viewed. Now, when somebody is viewed, they can see all these nice things you say about them. Now, she can know that we all love her. But I really appreciate you guys coming. Oh, my goodness. I mean, people have come from far and near and dear, and I really, really thank you. And, we love you, and there's just so much to be said, but I thank you so much.
Last time I see some of them, they were little folks. Now they done got to be big old folks. And we have had. Darth always does everything nice. And she just is It's just everything was just great today. I ain't as young as I used to be, so I don't do nothing no more. I used to fix everything, but I figured, well, these legs is a problem in the last games, because I can't get around like I used to. But God has been good to me. You better not break that devil's spirit. You know, He has really been good to me. To see all of these children, big children, little children, all here together and all grown up together just about it. And it just makes you feel good to know that they are still together. Because a lot of them have crowds like this. They drinking and smoking and gambling and everything else. So, but we were blessed not to have none of that stuff going on. And all we can do is just say, Lord, I thank you. Because it's good to have good friends and things together without having a big argument, a big, you did this and I didn't buy that. And all these things, if you think about it, it's unusual for people this many that can just laugh the thing away, everybody. And that Quinn, I hadn't seen him since he was a little bitty fella. Now he's an old man. So that's a blessing for me. And I just want to thank you for coming and thank you for being so great, one to another. Where is it? Right here. Right there. Smile. If we never pass this way again, just remember this time. How good it's been. Let's not forget God who made it possible. Just remember it's so wonderful. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you for the love expressions of your love and every smile you give away seems to show your love in a special way. It's just a gesture of your affection that you're sending in our direction, and it's all that we can do.